It is Monday, July the 6th. And damn it, the NBA doesn't want us to stop talking about them. So we're going to be talking some NBA blockbusters. We're going to be talking some FIFA World Cup. Let's just hop right into it. So kick back, relax, because another edition of Unbiased is live and it starts right now. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday and welcome into another edition of Unbiased, only here on 609 Sports Talk Radio, coming to you guys live tonight with all the unbiased sports talk that you guys deserve. And as always, we are your hosts, Sam Nelson, Tyler Adams. Tyler, happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
I don't know how happy a Monday really can be in this world, but it's Monday. Let's just go with that.
No, it's USA round of 16 knockout game Monday.
That's true.
Monday it is.
That is true. So, guys, show description says we will be live reacting to Team USA's game against Belgium, starting off around, 8 o'clock that is, Tyler?
8 o'clock.
So we'll be live reacting to that. We'll give our thoughts on their round of 32 victory last week as well. We'll get our thoughts into that. And, we'll continue to see if they can continue to advance in the World Cup tournament. But, Tyler, the NBA is on an absolute heater. And when I mean heater, I mean we had to switch up the show criteria this week kind of heater. We were fully starting our NFL preview for this upcoming season. We were going to kick off our division previews and get that going this week. However, the NBA decided to say, hold my beer, hold your NFL talk. We got some more for you. Tyler, now you had your week last week. You got your big celebration last Monday. Now it's my turn.
It is your turn.
Because we got some NBA blockbusters to talk about. And we are going to kick it off with the one that went down between the Sixers and the Celtics last Wednesday around 6:15 p.m. I thought I was being punked. And I got the Twitter notification, Jaylen Brown to the 76ers for a package of Paul George and that ridiculous contract, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. That teams up Jaylen Brown now in Philly with Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, and, of course, Joel Embiid. Tyler, I know I'm going to have my moment, but I would like the outsider's point of view first. I like to have the outsider's point of view. You being a Heat fan, you guys just got Giannis. Of course, you also signed Tim Hardaway Jr. Sixers have also made other moves outside of Jaylen Brown. They signed Dean Wade to a big contract. They also signed Anthony Simons. I'll dive into that a little bit later. But I would like your thoughts on this whole situation. On Jaylen Brown coming from the Celtics to the city of brotherly love, which, by the way, he's going to have a very interesting adjustment period with that.
Yeah, no, he definitely will. I mean, obviously, it's a great move. I'm still in shock. I don't know how in the world the Celtics basically got finessed by that trade. It didn't seem fair or even at all in what the return that the Celtics got. And what the Celtics were asking for when they were trying to get Giannis and give up Jaylen Brown. And it feels like they even took a step back from that. But Celtics aside, they did what they needed to do, whatever they thought that was the right thing to do. This is my reaction to Philly. And what Philly did was they took themselves from possibly running it back, which was never going to be a good idea. They were going to get
It hasn't been a good
nowhere
idea for
except
10 years.
they were going to get nowhere except maybe the seventh or eighth seed at best. But
Again.
now you trade away Paul George. You still have Maxey, Edgecombe going into his second year. You bring in superstar Jaylen Brown, who should have been an MVP candidate last year. Should have been more sought after as a candidate. You bring in a very good forward in Dean Wade. No, I'm not going to go there with the D Wade joke. Not going to do it. Got to show respect to the real OG. And then, yeah, you still got Joel Embiid whenever he plays. But this move takes all the pressure off of Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, he could play 40 games in the season. And this team will win a lot of games without him. They'll easily be in the top 5 seeding. I think you'll probably see this Philadelphia team next year somewhere in the top 3 seed of the league for most of it, or at least finish off there. Maybe it might be a little rough going at first. I mean, a lot of moving pieces aside from, the returning Maxey, Edgecombe, and whatever you get from Joel Embiid. But I feel like once they work through that initial period, I feel like they're really going to mesh well. They're going to win a lot of games. Again, I think they're going to win a lot of games without Joel Embiid as well. They're going to need to win games without him because he's not going to play every game. And I love that they were able to acquire a superstar. Not saying that Maxey hasn't been on that trajectory, but bringing in a proven scorer night in, night out in Jaylen Brown. And also a very good defender as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, defensively, you're pairing that with DJ Edgecombe, who was already, as a rookie, ascended into the league last year and had a really good rookie season. Not only the thing with Maxey is a very good player. I would never say he's not a star player. He is a star player. But I do feel like being a number 1A, 1B, or a 2 is probably better for him. The one thing I think this is really going to help Tyrese Maxey is getting another ball handler, because Tyrese Maxey, as we've noticed over the past few seasons, his three-point shooting goes down late in the season because a lot of his three-pointers are forced late in the shot clock, chucking them up from almost mid-court because he's trying to dribble to get separation. Mm-hmm. Tyrese Maxey, to me, has always been a better three-point shooter when he's off the ball. And now you have somebody with Jaylen Brown who is going to help facilitate the offense, who is going to have the ball in his hands a lot. There's a lot of ISO ball going off into this lineup, which we are aware of. But to get a star player in here like Jaylen Brown, somebody who has won an NBA championship, who's been a multiple-time All-Star, who's been a Finals MVP, who was top 6 in the MVP voting last year, should have got more consideration. And for the fact, here's what I cannot stand about mainstream media, and this is why I encourage people to give us a listen, because this is what we try not to do. Everybody now, since Wednesday night, are convinced now that Jaylen Brown is a bad basketball player because the Celtics analytic department said he is. I'm sorry, did the analytics matter when you raised the freaking O'Brien trophy 3 years ago?
Yeah. Did the analytics matter when he had you as the 1 and 2 seed while Jason Tatum was out?
I think, you got the reports that the Blazers were going to make an offer, but their analytics department viewed Jaylen Brown as a negative net rating player. Sorry, I'm not going to take into consideration something that a team who's only won 40-plus games, 4 years out of the last 10, has done. Sorry that a team that couldn't keep Damian Lillard in Portland for his whole career and had to bring him back, and I don't take into account what they say. Sorry that I don't care about what a team like the Portland Trailblazers think.
Yeah.
But Anthony, what part of it do you not understand? The Philly side of it or the Boston side of it? I'll tell you why I don't understand the Boston side of it.
There's a lot of reasons not to understand it.
Anthony, unless there's something that we are not being, I will say, I find it very strange that Joel Embiid has not said anything during this past week. We haven't got a tweet. We haven't had a chat. I mean, Jaylen Brown went on his Twitch stream the night he was traded. VJ Edgecombe called him live on the stream. He called Tyrese Maxey live on the stream. I'm wondering, and I'm not, there's nothing imminent. I have no sources on this. I'm just wondering, is there a possibility Jaylen Brown is here because they want to pair him with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey? Or are they going to subtract Joel Embiid from this? Because we've had this conversation. As awesome as that first round was against Boston, winning, coming back down 3-1, all that stuff, I still question about winning the whole dang thing with the big guy because of what he's done in terms of not staying healthy over his career. I love Joel Embiid. I am never going to come on here and say that I can't stand him, but you have to take into consideration now that is he even going to play 45 games a year? That's what you got to ask yourself. So the one thing I will say, and we talked about this, is bringing in Jaylen Brown helps you with all the games he's going to miss. Well, Anthony, it's Maxey, Jaylen Brown, VJ Edgecombe. If Joel Embiid for some reason was moved, that's your big three, and I am okay with that. What's up, Dalton?
What's going on, Dalton? Yeah, I mean, I look at it as if they keep Embiid, he'll still help them when he's available, but you don't need him to be available to succeed anymore.
Yeah. Because this is what I said. Tyler, have I not said this on the show multiple times? How are you supposed to win a championship when your best player or your second best player is only available 35, 40 games a year? How are you supposed to get out of the play-in with that?
Mm-hmm.
And they looked at it, and Mike Gansey, who, by the way, Mike Gansey has been in Philly for 3 days? He's only been the president for about 2 weeks. He has done more in 2 weeks in Philly than Daryl Morey did in 6 years. Bookmark this. Don't tell me that, Daryl drafted VJ Edgecombe. It's real easy to not miss on a number 2 overall pick, okay? It's easy to make that decision. But
Mike, Ben Simmons.
Man, I'm still not. Look, that's not a miss. Winning Rookie of the Year, being one of the best defensive players in the league, averaging 16, that's not a miss.
I know. I said that on one of the recent shows. I tried to defend Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons was a good player who didn't want to develop his game. That's what he was.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, you're never going to compete for a championship when you have Joel Embiid for only 50 games a year. And now, after that knee injury from a couple of years ago, I question whether or not if it's ever going to be 50 games. I don't know if Joel Embiid will play 50 games in a season again. But what this move tells me, one of two things is about to happen. They are either okay now because they know when the games he doesn't play, you still got Tyrese Maxey, you still got VJ, and now you have Jaylen Brown, who, by the way, I can make the case now is the best player on the team. I can make that case. And I love Joel. Joel is one of the most talented big men we've ever seen. But when you're only available for 40 games a year, how am I supposed to put you in that conversation still?
Yeah,
and
you can't.
And like I said, I have no indication on what's happening, but I just find it very strange. And Dalton would probably agree with this. Joel Embiid, we used to go on Twitter and recruit LeBron James back in 2014 before he even stepped. Mind you, when Joel made that tweet, the Sixers were about to go into a season where they won 18 games, and Joel hadn't even played an NBA game yet, and he was recruiting LeBron James. I just find it very strange that Joel has been very quiet during this whole week. I know things change. He's got a family now. He's got
Well,
a kid.
you could look at it like from that point of view, or you can also look at it as this is the first time that him being the face of the team has been in danger. And I mean, it's not even in danger. It's just it's not his team anymore. He had how many years to lead this team to some success?
Over a decade.
Was never able to do it. So, I mean, he's probably salty that the Sixers finally realized they needed to bring in a superstar that can play over 90% of the games in a season. Because what do you want? Do you want a guy who can average 28 points and plays 40 games a year, or a guy that can average 28 and plays over 70? I think it's an easy choice.
Yeah, and I mean, again, you're not just getting a guy that, and like again, this is not getting Paul George out of the prime of his career. This is getting a guy in the prime of his career who has won at the highest level. He's won an NBA title. He's won a Finals MVP. But this is exactly what I've been waiting for as a Sixers fan. I've waited to see. We're going to play this game again. We're going to play it again. Just when I'm out. Anybody who watched The Sopranos knows this. Just when I'm out, they freaking pull me back right in, and I'm back fully now. I'm all the way back. I'm on Broad Street waiting for the parade talk right now.
All right. Let's pump the brakes here.
No, I will not.
Here. Parade. You got a better chance of still going to see another Eagles parade than you do the Sixers.
Well, probably because the Eagles are one of the best ran organizations in all sports. That's different, but it's the fact that the Sixers have finally see. This is what you get, and you see. Here's how people say that. This is what I love about people and the Celtics and the analytic departments. Here's the problem. All my organization has done since they hired Daryl Morey, who, by the way, I'm about to go on a little bit of a tirade here. I'm going to say one last time on his way out the door because of what Mike Ganzi's done. This is what happens when you let basketball people run a basketball team, not analytics. Daryl Morey, in my opinion, will go down as one of the most overrated executives in NBA history. He lucked into an Oklahoma City team who knew they could not afford at that time in their market to pay Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. They chose to dump him off, and the Rockets jumped on him. That is the only reason that Daryl Morey has had a decently competent career as an executive. He lucked into a James Harden trade. What has he done outside of that?
Nothing.
So, and again, so analytically driven, it was mind-boggling. So for people saying that the analytics, like Brian Windhorst literally said last week, analytics showed the Celtics that Derek White had a better season than Jaylen Brown. Really?
Yeah. Because, the Celtics, they would have, been the best team in the league through most of the year if Jaylen Brown was out and Derek White was starting. Ridiculous.
Yeah, analytics in certain sports don't go together. They go together in some things, but not everything. And the fact that we're going on here and saying that Jaylen Brown analytically wasn't a productive player last year because of his net rating or whatever is a joke. Oh, Derek White had a better season. Well, Derek White had 8 points in Game 7 and shot 3 for 14 against the Sixers. Jaylen Brown had 33 points in that game. But it was Jaylen Brown's fault.
It was more efficient.
But yeah, it was Jaylen Brown's fault the Celtics blew a 3-1 lead. Not the fact that Joe Mazzulla had them shooting 18 straight three-pointers down 1 point and started Baylor Scheideman and Hugo Gonzalez and Ron Harper Jr. in a Game 7. That was Jaylen Brown's fault.
Yep.
But no, but the fact, like I said, the biggest deal this is like I said, if Embiid is still here, and I think he's gonna be, unless something completely comes out of left field over the next couple of weeks, months, whatever. Unless something comes completely out of left field. The biggest takeaway I have with this is he now can miss games and they don't all have to be scheduled losses. That's been the biggest issue with Joel Embiid missing time, is because the Sixers will never get out of the play-in because they can't win enough games when he's not on the court. Now, that production is still on the floor with or without Joel.
Yep.
Anthony said, now, Anthony, I will say something. Brad Stevens did talk today, and they did say that they didn't want to have two players taking up 70% of their salary cap. Now, yes, they did take Paul George's contract. Paul George's contract is also 1 year less than Jaylen Brown. So I get it in terms of that. But this is the best offer they could get for a guy who's 29 years old, is in the prime of his career. And now, again, the other belief is that the Celtics think Paul George now, I will say something. Paul George wasn't awful in Philly. You know what Paul George was? And Matt will love this. Paul George to me was my version, because I was still young when this happened. Paul George was my version of Chris Webber. Good player, got him too late.
Yeah.
But PG played really well in that series against Boston.
He did. I mean, when you needed him the most, he did. It was a bit of a roller coaster throughout the year, the suspension and all that. But
it's been a roller coaster since he signed here.
That is true. Yeah. I mean, it's a miracle they were finally able to get rid of that contract. I thought the Sixers were going to be stuck waiting until they were rid of, Joel Embiid and Paul George's contract to finally be able to build something with Maxey and Edgecombe.
Yeah, and the reports came even before they engaged with Boston. They were looking to attach draft capital to Paul George to offload his contract, which I said that when the offseason started. The only way you get out of Joel Embiid and Paul George's deals, you're going to have to draft a ton of draft capital and get off of them. And now, did I expect them to turn that and draft capital into Jaylen Brown? Absolutely not. But at the end of the day, they pulled this off, and I am not upset about it at all. So I get the Paul George fit a little bit with Boston. Now, look, is he Jaylen Brown? Hell no. But is he probably a little bit better of an off-ball fit next to Tatum? Yes.
What's up, Zolt?
What's up, Zolt? And that's the thing. I know it's a joke, but again, I have no idea what's going to happen with Joel Embiid. I think he's going to be here. I think the point is to try to win a championship with Joel Embiid on this team still. Now, where's that come from? I don't know. Is Jaylen Brown the piece that puts him over the top? I think it could be.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, the Sixers traded. They got off Paul George's contract, but they took on Jaylen Brown's. I'm okay with taking a third max contract slot as long as the player is productive. Jaylen Brown is in the prime of his career right now.
Yeah.
He is coming off a career year where he averaged 28 points per game.
Yeah, like that. That's why I don't get it. All the stupid analytics BS. It's all just stupid. Because everyone just wants to be salty now, oh, he didn't go here, he didn't go there.
And Anthony, this is and here's the thing, Anthony, you're spot on. I love Jason Tatum, but if I'm the Celtics, what do I do now if he gets hurt? He got hurt last year in the playoffs.
Hold on, no, they're fine because they got Derek White, who's the analytically better player. So he's going to carry that team. He's going to score. He's going to average 28 a game, and he's going to will them into the playoffs if Tatum gets
Yeah,
hurt.
give me a break. But no, but that's the point I'm trying to make is like, I don't understand the Celtics thinking process here. And again, I've actually kind of liked what the Celtics were doing this all season before they made this trade. They make they signed Mike Conley. He's going to come off their bench. They really desperately needed a backup point guard.
Yeah.
And I mean, desperately. They had to get a backup point guard that was a veteran, so they had to take care of that. And then, of course, they needed another big because Kada was good last year, but I mean, that you saw them struggle with Joel Embiid in that playoff series. They didn't have another body to throw at him. I like Mitchell Robinson. The only issue with Mitchell Robinson I have, though, is again another guy who he's been banged up in his career. I liked Mitchell Robinson as a backup in New York. I don't know how I feel about him. Now, what does Boston do? Because Kada got a big contract too. They gave Kada a nice extension, and they gave Mitchell Robinson a 3-year deal. So I don't know where they're going to go with this. So, I mean, whoever starts, they're the same player. They're a lob threat. They're going to protect the rim. I would prefer Mitchell Robinson staying on the bench because I think it keeps him healthier because he did have some durability issues in New York.
He did.
So I'm not sure where they're going to go with this, but I will say, dude, I really, really I can't believe I'm sitting here on July the 6th and Jaylen Brown is a 76er. Yeah, I really can't believe that this happened.
Who would have saw it coming? Inter division too.
Yeah, like that's the bizarre thing.
It's just like, you know what? You guys can get better. It's all right. Hey, maybe this is just Boston realizing that they can't compete with New York right now. So they're like, you know what? Let's give the Sixers a chance. So we'll see what we can do in a few years here.
Yeah, pretty much. And they said they paid Derek White to be a and that's the Derek White's a good player. Ever since he got to Boston, he's been a great player for them. But the fact that we're sitting here right now and people are trying to convince me now that Derek White is a better player than Jaylen Brown, you're absolutely out of your mind.
Like Derek White, a lot of respect for him. He's good. Don't compare him to Jaylen Brown. Don't tell me he's better. Don't tell me he had an analytically better season. I don't want to hear that.
No, and like I said, Mike Gansey, give him credit. He came in here. Like I said, he's been the president of basketball operations for 2 weeks? Already better than Daryl Morey. And honestly, Mike Gansey is on like a Howie Roseman type of heater right now in Philly. He's putting together a very solid roster. Now, what happens with the rest of it? I mean, they still need front court depth because here's the thing. A team with Joel Embiid, you still need to have depth in your front court because he is still going to miss time. You cannot avoid it anymore. He is not going to magically appear this year and say, oh, hey, guys, I'm going to play 82 games this year. That's a joke.
Good luck. If he would have magically appeared and said, I'm going to play 60, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know about that.
Well, he has. Like, the year he won the MVP, he got over 60. So he played 66 to get to be qualified for the MVP. But that's the thing. Now with this latest knee injury, I don't think he'll ever play 55 again. I think the goal is to just try to get to the playoffs with him as healthy as possible and see what happens. But the problem is every year they get to the playoffs, they're a play-in team. They don't have home court advantage ever in the playoffs. They don't have it. They don't have depth in the playoffs. And now they looked at this and realized, like, look, going into the season with Maxey, Edgecombe, George, and Embiid, we're going to be a play-in team again. But now you add Jaylen Brown to a team with those other three, and you are in very good shape. And like you said, I think you texted me when I sent you the attachment that they traded for. What did you say? Top 4 seed in the East or top 5?
I think top 4. I really do feel like the low end they will be in the top 5 range. I really think they'll be one of those top 3 teams. Shifting around throughout the year.
Yeah.
I feel like come playoff time they'll settle in around the 3 seed.
Yeah, I'm okay with that because I mean, look,
You
still
better be
got to
okay with
respect.
that. I just had to watch my team lose the playing game for the 10th seed.
Hey, we can both celebrate, brother. We both are hopefully getting
We
out of the play-in.
we can. I don't know if there's a championship coming to Miami anytime soon, but at least I know we'll be in the playoffs.
The playoffs with no play-in.
Yeah, with no playing. That's the goal, right? Get the 6th seed so you don't have to worry about the playing.
I despise the play-in. In case anyone didn't realize it, I absolutely despise the play-in.
Yeah, I can't because I watched my team go to the finals because of it. I'll stand by. That's literally the only reason it never got canceled and it remained a thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But no, I think, and look, the other moves that the Sixers have made, Dean Wade, I said I prefer maybe Rui Hachimura as an option, but Wade, he does a bunch. Now the signing looks better because now it's like, okay, well, that was your big ticket of the offseason. It's like, all right, the Mike Gansey connection, Cleveland. Okay, I get it. But, Wade is a guy, he can space the floor. He can guard multiple positions. He does all the little things well. He is an analytic person's dream. He's 6'10", so he's probably going to be your starting power forward. He can
Yeah,
space the floor, and that's the thing. When you have all these ball handlers like Maxey, Jaylen Brown, Joel Embiid, you're gonna have to space the floor. VJ Edgecombe, I think VJ handles the ball, but VJ can just catch and shoot's not a problem for him either. So you need to provide floor spacing. You need guys that can defend multiple positions. He's a very good defender, and that move looks a little better. I wasn't the biggest fan of the move. I thought John Collins was going to be a guy that they were looking at, but he ended up getting $50 million on 3 years in Detroit. And
yeah.
that's the thing. The Sixers got it for a reasonable price for what NBA role players go for. They are paying him. I forget what it is. 4 for 39. I forget what his AAV is, but it's not. It's lower than what people expected him to get. But yeah, I'm ecstatic about this move. I love the Dean Wade move. And again, I made a
4 for
YouTube short about this yesterday. Don't forget that they also signed Anthony Simons. It is no secret that the Philadelphia 76ers have had, Tyler, one of the worst benches in the NBA for how long now?
forever.
I mean, and that's the thing. Your top two bench players over the years has probably been Kelly Oubre, which Kelly, of course, is gone now, and Quentin Grimes last year. And after watching what the Lakers gave Quentin Grimes, man, Anthony Simons is a steal for barely $6 million a year. But
Mm-hmm.
there's a guy last year that averaged 14 points per game in Boston and in Chicago. Now he only played 6 games after he got traded to Chicago because he had a wrist injury, but that's all healed up now. So you needed a guy to come off your bench and just again, this is a team that hasn't been deep for years. They have no depth. Kelly Oubre had to be a full-time starter because they had nobody else that could play another wing spot. But the fact now is Simon's coming off the bench. You got the kid they drafted out of Alabama, who's going to be really, I think he's going to be really good. Dominic Barlow, who ended up turning his two-way deal into a guaranteed deal. He now can slot into a roll off the bench, which I think is perfect for him. Now, the backup center, Adem Bona's still here. They signed got Porty away from the Knicks. He's kind of the same thing as Adem Bona. High athletic guy, can run rim to rim, can be a lob threat, can block a shot here or there, but he's very, very raw talent player. I mean, his per 36-minute stats are pretty good, but again, he doesn't play that much. He was the third string center with the Knicks because of Mitchell Robinson and of course with Cat. So I really don't know what the backup center position is looking like. I wouldn't mind another veteran. Have someone a little more established back there, especially when Joel
And
misses
too bad
time.
Al Horford's not available.
I wouldn't want Al Horford if my life depended on it.
Oh, come on.
Not doing that. Not doing that. So, but no, I like again, Anthony Simons, another guy that comes in. like I said, he averaged 14 off the bench last year for Boston and Chicago. Here are the three most important things. Shot 39% overall from three on the season. He was sixth in the NBA this past year in three-pointers made off the bench. And he shot 47% on catch and shoot threes.
Wow.
When you are playing on a team with Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid and VJ Edgecombe, you are going to have to be able to just have that ball hit your hands and let it fly. That they have not had a guy, and now Paul George did a pretty good job of that last year. And that's where I think, like I said, I don't want to come on here and act like the Celtics don't know what they're doing. Guys, the Celtics are one of the best ran organizations in NBA history. Is this move questionable? Absolutely. But that's the one part of Paul George where the Celtics think he adds value to Jason Tatum. He can be more of an off-ball player than Jaylen Brown. Now Jaylen Brown can shoot. He's a solid three-point shooter. He still shoots a pretty decent percentage from the field. Excuse if there's noise in my background. There's a lawnmower going on outside in case anyone hears it. But
You're good. I don't hear nothing.
okay, good. Okay. Well, it's because my window's right next to me, so I can still it hits right into my right ear. So I was just pointing it out in case people are like, "What is that noise in his background?" But you need a team with the Sixers that is deep because of the Joel Embiid situation, and this is why I'm saying this is why the deal was made. This is why if Joel Embiid was healthy, always, they wouldn't need to trade for Jaylen Brown. But again, Joel has not been healthy forever. I can't remember the last time he actually was healthy. And they needed to go in and get a guy that could provide them scoring and be another star player. Now, I know a lot of people want the Sixers to go away from the three max contracts, but I'm okay with that as long as I know what I'm getting from those three players.
Well,
And now
one
I
of
know
them
what
you
I'm
don't
getting.
quite.
Oh, Anthony, we got our fair share of rain this morning.
Yeah, I would say that's an understatement from you, Sam.
We got our torrential downpours all morning. It was real fun. But the fact that I still can't believe this happened. Like it's the biggest thing to me. This whole situation is the shock factor. Is the fact that I sat here. I'm like, did they really get Jaylen? I sat here for 2 days now. I'm like, did they really get Jaylen Brown? I said, did we actually just get Jaylen Brown?
Yeah. One of the last teams I would have ever thrown out there as a potential suitor for him. Because again,
Yeah.
why would the Celtics trade one of their stars to a rival?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Because his analytics weren't good.
Analytics will be the death of sports because we look too much into them. Some of it's okay. Like I said, not all analytics are bad. But sometimes you just got to sit here and say to yourself, do I really think that Jaylen Brown is a worse basketball player than Derek White? When that gets brought up, I have to sit there and question yourself.
Yep.
Because
question everything.
I still can't believe it. And the fact that they've added outside of him, getting Dean Wade first, of course, that was big. But again, I love the Anthony Simons thing. Now, what do they do after this? What's up, Orlando?
What's up, Orlando? Thanks for joining us live from the power outage.
No power at the job? Oh, man, that is... And Orlando, like I said, I don't want to come on here and bash the Celtics because I do respect the Celtics as an organization. They're one of the... I mean, come on. Look how many banners they've rose in the history of their franchise. They're one of the best, but
it's just it's a clear win by the Sixers.
Yeah, like even good organizations make bad decisions, and I'm okay with doing it if you couldn't get over the hump with these guys.
Yeah,
they won a championship. They were going to be an Eastern Conference contender regardless. They were the 2 seed last year.
Mm-hmm.
What did the analytics tell you that those two couldn't play together? Like, I don't understand it. again, I'm going to say I like the moves they were making before this. I thought their bench was too young. They needed a veteran. Mike Conley's a perfect addition.
Yep.
Whether Mitchell Robinson is a starter or not on the Celtics, him and Kada together as your big man rotation, that's solid. Those are two guys that protect the basket. They block shots. They can both be lob threats. That's good. Derek White, no more jokes, is still a very good player. They got guys that can knock down threes like Sam Hauser. Like, they have a solid team. And I still think they'll be a good team. But do you think they're better right now than what they were last year? Are they better right now than the Knicks?
Here's the thing. I don't know if I can answer the better than the Knicks question right now. But I do know a lot of this hinges on Jason Tatum's health and how he comes back with more time removed from that injury. Because if Tatum can come back and he's averaging like 28 points a game, let's say you're getting 20 points per game from Derek White. I mean, you could make the case that the Celtics could continue, winning games like nothing ever happened. Yeah, we'll always know in the back of our minds of how great the duo of Brown and Tatum was. But if Tatum can get back to that form, I mean, they can be perfectly fine without Brown.
Yeah. It's just, I think that's another. And look, Boston, go look at Boston fans and Boston radio's reaction. They are pissed.
Oh, yeah.
And the Sixers end up having to deal away the Clippers pick that they've had. But again, I'm getting Jaylen Brown, dude. I don't care about draft picks.
Mm-hmm.
I will trade draft picks for proven talent all day. That's why now, the NHL, let me switch over to hockey for 2 seconds here. The Flyers just signed Leo Carlsson from the Anaheim Ducks to the highest AAV offer sheet in NHL history. He will make the most money in NHL history from an AAV standpoint at $18 million a year. The Flyers, if he signs that offer sheet, have to give the Anaheim Ducks their next 4 years of first-round picks. I don't care about draft picks. Unless you're the NFL. But I will trade draft picks for proven talent every single week. Every day of the week, I will trade a draft pick, and especially in the NBA, because let's be real, Tyler, unless you're the Wizards and the Jazz, who the first word every year in their season accomplishments is we hit the lottery because they don't know what a winning season is anymore. Unless you're picking in the top 5 of the NBA anymore, Tyler, let's be real. The draft's a crapshoot.
Oh, yeah, it is.
I feel like the NBA, you have to be that has to be the best sport in terms of talent evaluation, because everything after the first 8 picks, you have no idea what you're getting. All right, let's get up to date with this chat real quick. Anthony said, "What's the total amount of Brown and White in Tatum's contract? Did you pay White knowing you were going to trade Brown away?" Anthony, I would have thought about that if Stevens didn't bring up about Brown and Tatum taking up 70% of the cap space. Derek White, I don't think was into. They didn't care about Derek White and what his contract is. It had nothing to do with Derek White. I just keep bringing up Derek White because Windhorse brought up on ESPN, kept saying that they thought analytically White had a better season, which I don't really care about analytics in basketball. But their biggest argument is they didn't want 2 players taking up 70% of their cap space, which, okay, honestly, we are starting to learn. If you look at the NBA, you have to win. Instead of winning with top-end talent, like Tyler, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. If your Miami Heat team's back with LeBron James or in this era, you guys be screwed. You would.
Yeah.
Because a 37-year-old Shane Battier and a 35-year-old Ray Allen can only get you so far. I mean, and Mike Miller on one leg and a bad back doesn't get you far. So and that's what the Sixers have been trying to do since 2019. Look at the series against the Raptors. Yes, I hate bringing that up, but look, you had Simmons, Redick. Actually, hold on. I have the roster. I have it somewhere in the Twitter bookmarks. Hold on. because that's what the Sixers have always done. They've always been top heavy. Here we go. So this is the 2018-2019 Sixers roster compared to what is reportedly going to be this roster this year. The starting five for this Sixer team: Maxey, Edgecombe, Brown, Dean Wade, Joel. Do you remember the 18-19 starting five?
I do not.
Simmons, Redick, Butler, the worst contract in sports, Tobias Harris, Joel Embiid. I mean, the starting fives, that Philly starting five is pretty good.
Yeah. They won a lot of games.
Are you ready for the benches?
Nobody, and nobody.
So for this season coming up, you have Philon, Simons, Justin Edwards, Dominic Barlow, and Yakori. Do you know the top five reserves from the 2018-2019 Sixers? You're never.
Was Shake Milton still there?
He wasn't in the top five in this rotation.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, no, that's my best guess.
T.J. McConnell.
Oh.
Whatever was left of Jonathan Simmons.
Oh, my.
Mike Scott. James Ennis. And the backup center was Greg Monroe. Greg freaking Monroe.
That was terrible.
I already like the Sixers. At least this Sixers bench that I have now, at least it's young, it's athletic, it's exciting. Even Anthony Simons is only 27 years old. Now look, I know there's the reports of LeBron James. I don't think LeBron James is coming to Philly.
I don't think so. I really still feel he's going to Cleveland.
I think so. Yeah, I think he is too. But I will say, the one thing they still need, I need another wing off the bench. I do still think they need another wing off the bench. If they can get me one more wing off the bench, let's roll. Let's ride and let's see what happens. Is that Ben Simmons? That'd be kind of funny. Actually, a couple other former Sixers have been options.
Honestly, they should bring Ben Simmons back off the bench.
Oh my God.
Hey, get some defense off the bench.
Some playmaking.
He doesn't need to be your scorer. Obviously, he's not going to be.
We got Simons and Philon for that.
Yeah, can guard multiple positions.
Because, the other three names they've brought up, one was Gary Trent, which...
Yeah, Dustin,
okay.
That probably was the best save of his career, and I'm not happy that he had to make it this early in the game.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. That's a little flat coming out of the gate here.
Yeah, they need to get control here.
Let's roll into these comments more. Zolt said that analytics is a tool like film, the interviews, etc., can't be used in a vacuum. No, it can't. And again, I understand if these guys, that's like the Nuggets saying, "Oh, we can't win with Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic."
Yeah.
Well, you did.
Exactly.
I don't care. Look, if you go all those years and don't win with somebody and this happens, that's fine. I'm okay with that. But if you tell me the analytics say these two can't play together, but they've won a championship, what are we doing? What are we actually doing? Oh, Orlando, you don't got to tell me this. I said this. The guy led them to the 2 seed in the East without Jason Tatum, who once again came back and got hurt. So, again, I love Tatum. I love Jason Tatum. And I think the Celtics are still in a good position because, no offense, the East is still, it's a little more top-heavy. I still think the Celtics are a top 6 team in the East. I don't know how you feel about that, Tyler, but I still think when healthy, they are a top seed in the East.
They definitely are. This doesn't mean that the Celtics are going to be out of the playoffs by any means.
Now, Clean Music Lovers Backup says, which, by the way, Clean Music, thanks for checking the show out.
Yeah, welcome.
All the Celtics need is a facilitating point guard and a veteran center who can rebound. Well, they don't really need that because they just signed Mitchell Robinson, and they're going to pair him with Tatum. So they're going to be your center combination. Let me ask you this, Tyler. They need a point guard? Who did Portland just trade for?
Portland just trade for?
Last week. We talked about this.
We did. I don't remember Portland too fondly.
Ja Morant.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Who is going to be fully healthy this year for Portland?
Damian Lillard.
So what's Drew Holiday doing?
Coming off the bench.
So, again, why not give me a little Drew Holiday reunion?
Yeah, I mean, he had a very good history with the Celtics.
They won a championship.
Yeah.
They won a championship. What's up, Dustin? Dustin, if I stand up, this thing is going to take me with it. But, all right. So, look, we've spent almost an hour on the Sixers. We talked a lot of it. Tyler, there was another one that went down before the Jaylen Brown trade. And Dustin said Drew Holiday is expected to be the number 2 guard this year. I don't know what the Celtics would have to get. But I mean, Dustin, he's pretty damn old now. And they just got a bunch of draft capital from the Sixers. So, I mean, if I were the Celtics, I would make the phone call. I would call Portland and say, hey, I know we kind of did this once already. What would you want back for? If I were the Celtics, because I think if you put Drew Holiday back on the Celtics, I think they're a very, very good team. I still think they're a good team now. But right now, your top facilitating point guard is whatever's left of Mike Conley.
Yeah.
Dustin, in this league, you may have to. Dustin, I'm not, nor have I ever been a DeMar DeRozan guy. And the only reason I'm going to say no, because I already have enough ISO scores on this team. Now, if he wants to come off and be that last wing off the bench, maybe. Because I do need another scorer off my bench. But I don't know. Like, now that I think about it, having him as like a scorer off my bench is not a bad idea. I mean, almost every Eastern Conference contender makes sense for him. I mean, Sixers. Would you have any interest in Miami?
I mean, yeah, there's kind of that Norman Powell void. I mean, I'm assuming Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to come in as the starting 2 guard. I mean, it only makes sense, but still, they don't have anything coming off the bench. I mean,
really
Bobby Portis, that's your big man off the bench. Aside from that, Pell Larson had a decent year last year off the bench, averaged 11 points, shot well from the field. So, yeah, DeMar DeRozan could be a solid scorer off the bench. He honestly would probably come in as the 6th man off the bench, and that'd be his role immediately.
Yeah. And I mean, and Dustin says that right here, use him as your 6th man. He has some veteran leadership for the young guys. I mean, yeah, I don't hate it. Yeah, Dustin, they are playing kind of.
Yeah.
They're looking a little slow out there right now. They're not looking great. Oh, gee. Oh boy, that was bad. I just looked up at the right second. That was bad. That was
How far ahead of you
absolute.
are you?
What is
Further ahead
going
are
on
you?
here?
So what am I waiting to see here?
You're not gonna like it.
Oh. Oh.
That was bad.
That's what I was waiting to see.
That was bad.
Yikes.
Somebody want to wake them up now and tell them that they had a soccer game to play? Oh my god, what? What? Where? How? There's 3 USA players that let that ball just drop in between them.
That's a good run. All of
No,
them were
the one.
looking for an offsides, but I think he looked like he was on sides.
Oh my god. Yeah, Dustin, like they get the one header pass and 3 guys just watched it drop in the middle of them.
Yep.
What were they doing?
Yep. He's on side.
But you see what I mean, right? The one USA player makes the header pass, 3 guys watch it drop.
Yep.
What were they doing?
No idea.
Oh dear. All right, that's it. Somebody get the ball to Balogun. I've never needed a Balogun goal in a game more than I've needed one tonight. Oh dear Lord.
Now work this ball up over to Pulisic.
Spot on pass, and the USA player falls down. Oh my gosh. This is not a good start for Team USA in the first 10 minutes of the game. All right, Tyler, let's get back to our NBA blockbusters because we still had a second one go down before the Jaylen Brown one.
Mhm.
Kawhi Leonard is going back to Toronto. So here is this trade package. You have Kawhi Leonard going to the Raptors, Brandon Ingram, Grady Dick. Yes, you heard that right. 2 first-round picks, a pick swap, and 2 second-rounders back to LA. Kawhi returns to where he won an NBA championship and his second finals MVP, Tyler. How much of an impactful move is this for the Raptors?
I mean, in terms of impact, where I think they'll possibly be able to land in the hierarchy of the East, I think it puts them middle of the pack again. I mean, it really depends. What Kawhi Leonard are you getting? All right, are you getting the guy who finally played some of the most games in recent years, and he averaged almost 28 a game? I I don't know. I mean, RJ Barrett had a great year last year. I like Jakob Pearl at center. Manuel Quickly, Scotty Barnes. They have a solid starting five.
I mean, this team was already a top, what was it, 5 seed last year in the
They
East?
were, I think, fifth seed. Yeah. I still feel like they'll probably hover around that though.
Oh, I think they're better than that.
I don't think this puts them in like top three seeding.
Okay, well, here, let me ask you this right now. Are they better than. Remember, the 3 seed won the finals last year.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right, so Toronto. Are they better than. Right now, are they better than New York?
No.
No. Are they better than Boston?
I don't think so.
I think they could be.
They possibly could be, but I'm going no.
Are they better than Detroit?
Better than Detroit? Based off of Detroit not in the postseason last year, I'd say no.
Are they better than Philly?
Philly's current starting five, I'd say no.
Wow, you're really not putting a lot of stock into this. How?
I mean, because so much changes in the Eastern Conference year to year, I feel like.
Not like this.
I get not like that.
Tyler, in one off season, we have Kawhi Leonard coming back to the Raptors. Jaylen Brown is going from Boston to Philadelphia. Giannis is going from Milwaukee to Miami, and LeBron is probably going back to Cleveland. I haven't heard of an Eastern Conference offseason like that in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even ask me about Cleveland.
I think they're better than Cleveland.
You do?
Right now?
Hold on, let me see. Let me see. Where does Cleveland stand?
I will never pick a team with James Harden better than a team than Kawhi Leonard.
Okay, let's see. Harden, Mitchell, Strus, Mobley, Allen. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say starting five versus starting five, I'd probably take Toronto over Cleveland.
I think the starting fives are pretty even. If I want a star player, do I want James Harden and Donovan Mitchell, or do I want Kawhi Leonard?
Mm-hmm.
And Dustin did bring up. He said there are more questions than answers right now with the Pistons.
Yeah.
Do they get Hero from the Bucks? Will Durant be back? Those two decisions alone take them from a top two team to a borderline playing team.
It's a great way to look at it.
Dustin. And Dustin, also, I agree with your thing about Team USA. I think the outside media has gotten to their heads a bit. They look like a team
too.
They look very out of sync right now. But first off, you have a Toronto team that, again, Jakob Poeltl, solid center. I think the potential of Scotty Barnes and Kawhi Leonard defensively, that potentially could be one of the most suffocating duo of wings in the league. Okay, Tyler. Now, Anthony has a good question. Are they better than Cleveland if LeBron is there? Again, this is hard.
Who's your point guard? Is Harden still your point guard? Am I looking at a starting five of Harden, Mitchell, LeBron, and then Allen and Mobley? Am I looking at that as a starting five? Because honestly, I don't really like that starting five.
Well, there is rumors going around that if LeBron goes to Cleveland, Jarrett Allen may be available because they will want to get a better floor spacing lineup around those three.
That's what my concern would be, floor spacing.
Which, like I've said in the past, Jarrett Allen does kill a team's floor spacing. So, honestly, I'm going to say no. Currently constructed, no. Because now, if this was 28, 30-year-old LeBron, absolutely. But LeBron's 40. Like, there's a reason that he's not signed yet, guys. Like, I know he's LeBron James. He's going to get a team, but they got a ways to go. Let's just leave it at that. They got a ways to go. Zolt said the Pistons offseason has been very underwhelming. Maybe there is a big move still to be made, but right now we are just dropping down the... Yeah, Zolt, I mean, you got John Collins, and I think that helps a little bit. I think that helps your front court. I think he's a better fit. I like him better than Tobias Harris.
The Pistons, they kind of do need a lay-in Tyler Hero if they want to remain one of those top teams in the East.
Ooh. Now, Dustin said if that were to be the deal with Jarrett Allen, look for a name like Miles Turner. Miles Turner actually is a lot better of a fit for the Cavs at center than Jarrett Allen. Miles Turner stretches the floor, as does Evan Mobley. So that actually would be a very solid team. Now, that team I think could rival, that may be better than Toronto. Maybe. But now the question is, I'm going to be because the biggest thing with the Raptors is going to be R.J. Barrett, Emmanuel quickly. Can they play off the ball? Because Kawhi's going to need to handle the ball. Scotty Barnes has to have the ball in his hands. Can R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel quickly be consistent knockdown shooters in catch and shoot scenarios? We know they can get to their spots, but can you play off the ball?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Like who's giving up points for Kawhi?
Well, essentially, Kawhi's that's Brandon Ingram, because Brandon Ingram's going back to the Clippers. So,
yeah,
it's not really about.
But I still feel like Kawhi still commands the ball more than Ingram.
Well, yeah, he's the better player.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, you have him and Scotty Barnes defensively. That duo of wings can be ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would that defensive matchup is a nightmare for anybody when you throw those two at you. Oh my gosh. All right, you know what? Every 5 seconds, a Belgian player's on the laying down on the field. Can we hurry this up? Can we knock this off? Dustin did bring up something about that. He said, sad part is Belgium is running the same 4-2-3-1 scheme U.S. runs, so it's nothing new to them. The difference is the U.S. builds their attack from the back, where the Belgium generates everything up top and count on counter plays. Yeah, Dustin, this again, they look very out of sync. Nothing looks. Friendly fire. Hello.
Yeah. No, they gotta put it together here, but I have hope in this team.
So
I have
20
hope
minutes
in Pochettino.
Yeah, as long as they gotta get something.
Because
going
here's the thing, right? Yes, it was a sloppy goal. They shouldn't have gave it up. I also saw them give up a sloppy goal to Paraguay, and they locked in after that and didn't allow anything else.
All right, Tyler, it's a little different. They had 3 goals
yes,
that when Paraguay
I get
finally
that.
scored.
But still, I mean, how much different? Paraguay has until they just finally got eliminated by France, who only beat them by a goal off of a penalty. The U.S. has been the only team that dominated Paraguay.
I understand that. I'm just comparing the scenarios.
Yeah, I get that. But I think they're...
Zolt said local talk is the Pistons are in talks on KD and or Trey Murphy. Zolt, if I were you guys, I would just go all in on Trey Murphy. I don't understand what Kevin Durant does for a team anymore at this point.
No.
Don't get me wrong. Proven scorer. Still going to give you that 27 a night. But this guy has been... Kevin Durant, and I get it. Here's what cracks me up, right? This is what I hate about ring culture. Every damn year, I got to hear about LeBron James. Oh, he's been on this team. He's been on that team. Teams Kevin Durant been on the past 10 years.
Yep. Very true.
Let's see. OKC went to Golden State and got
hit. Oh, what in the world? Oh, my gosh.
What'd I miss?
Richards almost gave the ball away in the box.
What are they? They are just so out of sync to start this game.
And it started because Chris Ream just got freaking the big body by the other dude and couldn't bring the ball down from the air.
But back to my Kevin Durant thing. So, we have, OKC to Golden State. Then he goes to Brooklyn, tries a super team. That failed. Then he goes to Phoenix. That failed. Now he's in Houston. That's so far doesn't look good. Now he's on the talks about going to another team. Why are we not giving that same energy with Kevin Durant that we give LeBron James? Because here's the thing, right? I understand, everyone's like, LeBron had to go this way and that way to get his championships. Welcome to the NBA now. Not everything stays the same like they did in the 90s, okay? But, Tyler, you've been a Miami Heat fan your whole life. Answer me this question. After 2006, what were the Miami Heat in the 4 years between their first title and getting LeBron James?
Oh, man. Do I have to answer? Rough times.
The Cleveland Cavaliers after LeBron James left them the first time before he came back.
Very rough times.
The Los Angeles Lakers after Kobe retired and before LeBron showed up.
Very rough times.
What did all those teams have in common after LeBron signed with them?
They won a championship.
Where has Kevin Durant done that?
The difference is he just went to a team that already won a championship.
Oh yeah, that team was going to win 2 more with or without him. And then the best part about it, I love, they won one after he left.
Yes, after. They won before, one during, and one after. So it was never about him.
Well, it was one before, 2 during, and then 1 after.
True, yeah.
You know, and remember, they won that last one where it was the big 3, and I think the 4th best player was Jordan Poole, who was, by the way, you want to talk about analytics in basketball, go tell me how good Jordan Poole is. The only analytical thing I know about him is that Draymond knocked him senseless in a practice.
Whew.
Catch up on a few comments. Dustin said the thing that sucks from here on out is that USA has the hardest road to win it all. Get through this game and you get Spain. Oh dear God. Follow that up with France and then most likely Argentina. Yeah, good luck with that. And Zolt brought up that the KD thing would be a 1 year and out like most teams. Yeah, Zolt, so why do that? Why? I'd rather look, whatever happens with the Durant situation, it sounds like Detroit's going to match whatever deal he gets. So instead of that, how about just go get Trey Murphy? You have John Collins, Murphy, Collins, Thompson, Durant, Cade. That's solid. Still maybe go get Tyler Hero for your bench. You're probably in a better position. I'd still understand the whole Kevin Durant situation. Tyler, you want to get some thoughts on this?
Anthony, I don't know if you mean like you are disappointed, Anthony, or the team is a disappointment. Trust me, Mexico made it a lot further than a lot of people would have gave them credit for. They had a good tournament. And they just happened to catch England, probably I'd say playing the best game that I've seen of them in this tournament. I mean, they got the lead early. They got one of their defenders got red carded off at about the 50th minute, 54th minute around there. And then what does England do? They keep the pressure on. They get a penalty drawn for themselves, and they score that to take an even larger lead. The final score was 3-2. I get it. Yes, Mexico had an extra player, an advantage. They were also playing from behind. England subbed on an extra defender to fill that void, and they took a player off of the attack. And the player was Baka Osaka, and in my opinion, he stinks. So they were able to manage the rest of the game with less on the attack. And that game, it was what I expected it to be. It was a great game, exciting to watch. And I'll say it again, I mean, England, they played the best game that I've seen of them this tournament. I don't think they're going to recreate that the rest of the tournament. I don't think England's making it that much further, but they got it when they needed it.
So this segment's all you. Outside of USA, I haven't watched one other game. It's been kind of hard keeping up with all this stuff, so this is all you.
I think it's probably the first tournament I've watched almost every single game.
And Dustin said he thought that England and Mexico game was electric, best game in the whole tournament, in his opinion.
My best game of the whole tournament, Argentina versus Cabo Verde. The team that nobody knew about versus the team that won the World Cup 4 years ago. They shouldn't have had any chance of staying in that game, and they pushed Argentina all the way until extra time, and it took for probably, I think, the second period of extra time for Argentina to score the third goal that won the game. It looked like they were going to go to penalties. Whenever it seemed like Cabo Verde was out, they responded.
Very interesting. Very interesting. All right, Tyler. So since we decided to, talk about the Giannis situation and all this stuff, here real quick, let me get Dustin's other comment here saying the two disappointing teams in the world have been Germany and Brazil.
Dustin, Germany, they were my favorite to possibly be in the final this year. Brazil, I never believed in them at all. They have a lot of great players. They don't have great chemistry. It's a lot of individual talent without team chemistry. 29-year-old Neymar. Neymar at 29. That dude's old.
God, how old's Messi?
And Messi's like, let's see, Neymar's 34. I think Messi's 38.
How old's
Messi is
Ronaldo?
39. Ronaldo, he I think is 40.
Wait, he's older?
Yeah, he's older. 41. He's older.
I thought Messi was older.
This is Ronaldo's last World Cup.
Yeah,
Neymar's
I
last
saw
World
that.
Cup. Messi is kind of like the Tom Brady of soccer. He might play in the next World Cup when he's like 42. Or like 43. He might.
You know, I will say that, growing up as a sports fan, baseball was my first love, the NFL, basketball, hockey.
Oh, they got a free
Soccer,
kick. Sam, don't spoil anything.
Soccer has grown on me watching this World Cup, especially listening to you, Dustin, of course, talk about it. It's a very entertaining sport if you give it a chance. And I will say, to be a soccer player in any league, whether it's the Euro League, the World Cup, the MLS, whatever, you have to be in peak condition.
And that actually segues, Sam, perfectly to what Dustin just said. Dustin, it's not because of how bad Brazil looked, it's because of Neymar's health. He came into this World Cup being unfit to play, but the coach had pity on him because he was the face of this current Brazilian generation. Oh my God, Sam, you just spoiled it. Did they score, you motherfucker?
Yes.
You almost had me curse on the damn thing, Sam. I told you not to spoil it. I'm like 30 seconds behind. Sam spoiled it. They scored. Damn you, Sam. Hold on. I gotta wait and watch this.
I can't not react.
Damn you, Sam.
What? Don't blame me.
Oh my God, another beauty. Back-to-back games. Malik Tillman.
That's
Malik
beautiful.
Tillman, an absolute beauty.
Let's go. Look at that.
Dustin,
Boom.
You seem like you follow a lot of U.S. men's soccer. I can't remember the last time we had a player that was able to hit set-piece free kicks like this and actually be a threat on goal. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Oh my God.
What a way to respond.
Goaltender went the complete opposite way. That's crazy.
Yeah, he faked him out bad. Oh, wait, hold on. Did that deflect off of somebody?
I don't know.
Hold on. Or did that knuckle? Oh, no, it deflected off the defender. Oh, no.
Well, it's like last week.
Let's go.
Right?
No, it was the top of their head. It grazed off of one of the Belgian players. Oh, last week. Yeah.
Last week it hit off the goalie's hand.
Yeah, it was off the goalie's hand. Yeah, the goalie tried to fully extend. He couldn't get to it.
And it's not like he had like a fingertip. He had a full, his whole set of fingers on that one last week. What a kick. All right. We got a new game now.
We do. That's good. I like that response. But
Dustin says that he played soccer for 2 years. First love, and if you can believe that. I can believe it.
But yeah, no, that was great. But yeah, back to Neymar.
Oh my God.
Sam, what? Just tell me if they scored or not.
Belgium scored again.
No way.
What is happening?
Stop it.
How do they go back down and score? How do they allow that?
It. Oh my gosh. You want my opinion? They might have to take Tim Ream off. He's our captain. He's an older player. He is getting beaten in every which way. He was the one in that play when they scored the first time, and he was in there defending that too. I think they got to take him off and put Mark McKenzie on.
All right, I got to say one thing. That is one absolute... Oh, God.
He just got bodied. That's
Wait till you
it.
see Pochettino.
Like, absolutely bodied.
Look at Pochettino's reaction. He's
Yeah,
pissed.
I'm telling you, he's going to take him off at halftime.
He's kicking Pat. He's
I'm
kicking
telling you,
stuff.
yeah. He's taking him off at halftime.
Wow, this comment now just goes by the wayside. Damn.
Yeah. Jeez, man. That guy has Tim Ream's number. Oh
I mean,
man,
I
I
gotta
hate.
say one thing. That's a beautiful pass.
It was. It
That's
was.
a beautiful. Wait,
Are they reviewing for a foul?
no.
No.
I thought US was about to come down and have a decent shot, but it was
Oh.
ended quickly. Zolt told you just let it fly. With the curse, you almost cursed. Said,
Oh.
let it fly.
But yeah, Neymar. Neymar could play again if his hamstrings weren't made of paper. He can't stay healthy anymore. He hasn't been able to in years. And he's never going to be able to, I think, be at that peak fitness to compete on that Brazilian national team. They basically had him out there this year as a parting tour. Oh, wow. McKinney gets a yellow. Nice.
Did you see Pochettino kick the Powerade?
Yes.
He is pissed. All right, so now that we've kind of hit on our NBA blockbusters, we'll continue to live react to USA and Belgium. Right now, this is Belgium leads the US 2-1 on, honestly, 2 goals I kind of think really could have been avoided, but
Yeah.
well, the
I mean,
first one could. The
the
first one
first
should never
one could have
happen.
been. First one was sloppy. Could have been avoided. That second one, Tim Ream, you can't just get bodied like that.
Yeah,
You can't get absolutely bodied.
he's having a terrible game so far.
Yeah.
So there were some other, in my opinion, significant moves done around the NBA this past week. But before we get to that, Tyler, guess what I just remembered? And I set it up for this exact reason. We did a poll question yesterday.
Oh, we did.
But I did want to save it for the end of the show. What are we doing, guys? Why don't we just stand there for 10 more minutes with Freeze kicking the ball back and forth? Why don't we? What the? Okay. Hey, Dusty, you can ask as many soccer questions as you want. My soccer guy's right there.
Oh. You know, if there is a coach that could get all of those great individual players together to play as one, it'd probably be Pochettino.
I hope USA
But
extends him because, like
I
I said,
really hope he accepts the extension that they give to him.
because I watched USA and a few of their like tournament things going before Pochettino got hired. Like as you would tell me to check out soccer more, and I started watching USA soccer a little bit. And every time they play, I'm like, dude, they get 1 goal in and they don't care to score for the rest of the game. This
Yep.
is the most aggressive team I have seen Team USA coached by forever. Like Pochettino actually has them being a very aggressive team, and I like to see it. So I hope they are able to get him extended.
Yeah.
Oh, Tyler, here you go. Dustin's even going to scare you more.
Hold on. With how much money that this World Cup has been generating, I think the U.S. is ready to open up the bank vault to keep Pochettino as the coach for the next 4 years to lead us back to the next World Cup. I think they do it because it's either that or you go back to some dark times of, probably missing on another coaching hire.
Yeah, they've had their fair share of misses. So Tyler, go into this poll question real quick and chat. Feel free to give us your thoughts. Which move? Now, I wish I could have. I wanted to save this for after LeBron, but I don't know when the heck LeBron's going to freaking show up on ESPN and make a decision 3.0 again. Just for the sake, I went and rewatched that again. The decision. That was such a nerve-wracking interview. Which move will impact the Eastern Conference the most? Jaylen Brown to Philadelphia, Giannis to Miami or Kawhi to Toronto?
Well, what was the wording to that to start it?
Which move will impact the East the
Oh,
most?
impact the East does the most. Okay. Hmm.
And would you like to answer before I give the results?
I'll hear the results out.
74% said Jaylen Brown to Philly.
Hmm.
20% said Giannis to Miami. And 6% said Kawhi to Toronto. So what do you think, personally?
So I feel like yes, Jaylen Brown. That's a big one. Giannis to the Heat has big implications for the East in terms of Miami's going to be in that within that top 6 seed range immediately. They could have a higher ceiling than that, depending on how they fill out the rest of the roster. But I think when we're looking at the overall of the Eastern Conference, I think the biggest one is Kawhi going back to Toronto. Because if you look at it, Sixers, they were a playoff team last year, even though we know how it ended. They still did knock off the Celtics. So you already kind of knew what you were getting from that Sixers team. They were going to make the playoffs. Not really sure what they're going to do from there. And then you look at the Heat. Yeah, it takes them from being a team that's probably going to be a play-in team or get bounced out of the play-in to they're definitely going to secure a playoff spot. But the Raptors, yes, they were the 5th seed last year. They were never really viewed as much of a threat. But adding in Kawhi Leonard immediately makes them a threat to contend in the Eastern Conference. So I think that does provide the biggest shakeup if you're looking at the whole conference.
So the reason I think a lot of reason why people didn't vote for Kawhi Leonard is because the Raptors were already the better team out of those three last season. They were the
Yeah,
fifth seed in the East. And I think they're kind of like we kind of talked about. I think they're going to kind of hang in that same area because I mean, you still have to deal with the Knicks. Cleveland is still going to be good, regardless of our opinion on the trade package. Boston will find a way to still be a good team, and
they
now
will.
Philly and Miami are on the rise again. I think that's why the Kawhi one. And again, like you said, Kawhi. Are you getting the Kawhi last year? If you're getting the Kawhi you got last year, I'm scared
Mm-hmm.
because Kawhi Leonard. Oh my God, Dustin was right. Freeze did literally save a third goal from happening. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
But like we've seen Tyler, what happens when you get a determined Kawhi Leonard. I mean, Kawhi got traded to Toronto in 2019. He said, "Look, I'm going to be here 1 year, then I'm out of here." Well, that was a pretty good 1 year, and so I think the big reason why a lot of people voted towards Jaylen Brown is also no disrespect to Miami. I think Philly's roster is a little more fine tuned currently. Now, you guys are still going to have
Yeah.
to make there's still moves to make, and again, I still think I'm not one of them that question the fit with Giannis and Bam. Now, I'm not one of those people, but there are people that are questioning the fit between the two.
They'll be fine. They're going to focus more on defense, not allowing teams to score, drop 120 points on them, game in, game out. They'll definitely be looking to win more games defensively than they are outscoring teams.
Yeah. And I mean, you've got really good defenders. I mean, Davian Mitchell's a solid defender. Andrew Wiggins is a very solid defender. We know what Giannis and Bam can be out there. I
Yep.
think Miami they're in a good spot.
Oh, man.
Dustin's having a very long day in the chat. He's not happy right
It's
now.
a long day for all of us watching. They look slow defensively, and they look like they're missing that oomph in the attack.
Belgium is loading up on the side of the field where Pulisic is. That's the other problem.
Yep.
They're trying to keep the ball off his foot at all times. And I think that's one of the big key areas where that's how they get the ball to Balogun, who I haven't even heard his name. I haven't even heard from him at all yet.
They've gotten it to him a few times, but nothing yet.
He's probably afraid to make a move and may get kicked out for the rest of his life.
Yeah. Feels like he's walking on thin ice.
Which, by the way, can we just talk about that for a second? That red card was, by large, the most ridiculous call I've ever seen.
It was a horrible call by that referee. A complete misuse of the video replay system to give a player a straight red card. Mind you, he didn't even call a yellow card foul on the field. So he screwed up immediately with that. He should have at least called a yellow card on the field. Yeah, the foul was worthy of a yellow card. It warranted that. It wasn't anything intentional. It was just the act of soccer.
Yeah, Anthony, that's what goes into what Tyler just said about their attack. They're missing something. Oh my God.
They're playing more to keep possession away from Belgium rather than attacking Belgium.
Well, that's
and
fine.
Newsflash, you're down. So
yeah. Speaking of that, you'll see did you see the chance that Balogun just had?
Yep.
Dustin said, hate to say USA is afraid to play to Belgium, to play to Balogun. I thought I said Belgium, my bad. As they know there will be consistent. Yeah, there will be. Like, they know that they're going to be gunning for Balogun because, Belgium tried to get him they've tried to get him to where he couldn't play the game. And, oh, my God.
Yeah, well, Dustin, I'm going to go back to this. Why is it a red card for any player not named Messi? Messi intentionally stepped on the back of someone's leg earlier in the group stage. There was never a video review. There was never a card on the field. They didn't really talk about it afterwards. They just kind of brushed it away. And that's what it was. It was the end of it. So what, just because he's Lionel Messi, that gives him the pass to do that? And for there to be no card?
It's my point of the whole thing was it wasn't even that bad of a play. It was two guys jostling for the ball.
Yeah.
And yes, he went and he stepped on his foot. It happens. Yeah. It's soccer.
Exactly. And it was, again, unintentional, right? Like, the first thing I looked for in that replay, I was like, okay, was he looking back where he was stepping? Was he trying to pull a quick one and do this on purpose? And no. His head was up, looking the other way down the field the whole time. He was trying to make a play on the ball.
Yeah. Which is why, ultimately, he accidentally stepped on because he wasn't paying attention. But for them to come out and say that was malicious enough for a red card, I have been watching soccer all of 10 minutes, and I could have told you that was bogus. But yeah, they've got to get up on the attack here. Like, there is no aggressiveness in their attack at all. What in the world? Oh, play on. Really? Okay. So Dustin said that he 100% agrees with you. That should have been a red on Messi. The difference is Messi is Messi. He brings in the money from FIFA, and FIFA knows that.
Nah, that wasn't a foul. They didn't foul Dust. He dribbled it right at the guy. I mean, he was trying to bait a foul that wasn't there.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, Tyler. So let's spend the final few minutes here. There are some other NBA moves that I want to get both of our thoughts on, and I'm going to pick through here. I don't care about Andre Drummond signing with the Knicks. Nobody cares about that. Well, I'm going to jot down some moves here that have happened over the past week, and we're going to start off with the reigning Western Conference champion San Antonio Spurs. Real quick, let me get Dustin's comment up here so you can rebuttal to it if you want to.
No, he's totally right.
Yeah, the guy. Again, I've watched soccer all of 10 minutes, and I can tell you how good of a freaking of a draw
And
Messi
they
is.
couldn't risk, red carding him and having him miss the next game, and then potentially Argentina losing a game. Even though it was still the group stage, they would have won their group regardless. But it's not a good look for their ratings. I get that. Trust me, I've seen the ticket prices of any team that plays Inter Miami since Messi got there. It's insane.
Did you see the parking for some of those games in Philly?
Oh yeah. Oh, you thought
They
they
were
charged a lot for Eagles games? Yeah.
Eagles games a bargain.
Yeah.
Anthony,
Get there, Balogun.
I know. I don't want to spoil it. I thought Balogun that was a great shot there. Oh, damn it.
I like the attack, though. That's what they got to do. They got to try and push that back line, get the ball in
It feels
behind
like,
them.
though, every pass they go to make that gets them a decent-looking chance that Belgium is right on it.
They are. Belgium's a
All right,
really good team.
so Anthony wanted to ask, did the Lakers make a mistake not keeping Rui Hachimura, of course, signed a 2-year, $28 million deal this morning to stay in LA. It's just he's going to be with the Clippers. Anthony, I will say yes, they did, because they don't have many defenders on that team. I mean, Luke, what did I say all off season? If you're going to build around Luka and Austin Reeves, you need to build them around guys who can defend. And Rui's a pretty damn solid defender, so I think they did make a mistake by not paying him that. I thought the Lakers should have definitely made a more consistent effort at trying to keep Rui. And look, give the Clippers credit. I mean, you lose Kawhi Leonard. Let's be honest. You're not going to replace player's not going to replace Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
So, Ingram's going to come in, and Ingram, he can provide the scoring. I mean, Ingram has averaged over 20 plus in this league consistently. So I think he could definitely help out. Oh, man. Every freaking time. Balogun's starting to get going now. I think we're starting to. They're getting a little dangerous now.
Yeah, too bad halftime's coming in.
Yeah, I know. But it's good. Go into the half and look decent.
Yeah, it is. And Pochettino, he's going to have some tactical changes.
Yeah, who needs to be taken out of the game, you said?
I feel like Tim Ream, but I mean, he wears the captain armband for a reason. A couple sloppy plays. The first one wasn't all on him. It honestly started when Des just watched the ball drop to the ground, like you pointed out.
Damn, 3 guys!
That is exactly how Paraguay scored on us. That's the same thing I criticized. They all watched the ball fall to the ground, and then by the time they reacted, it was too late.
Yeah, like, why did 3 guys just literally sit there and watch that? All right, we are in halftime.
They're starting to put it together now. They're cleaning it up defensively. They're getting attacks going. They're finding passing lanes. I think Pochettino will have them coming out second half firing.
I agree. Real quickly, Dustin said the going rate for tickets tonight. Yeah, I'm not.
Get out of here.
I remember when we talked about going to one of these games, and you know why we didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, this is literally the reason why.
Oh, Anthony, they didn't just sign a center. We'll get into that in a second. But all right, Tyler, now that we are in half, let's talk about some of these NBA moves. First off, we will stick in the West with the Spurs. Tobias Harris, 2 years, $31 million deal with the reigning Western Conference champs.
I'll be honest, I don't know how it makes them better. I'm just as big of a Tobias Harris fan as you are.
Can we agree on something? Is Tobias Harris not Kirk Cousins?
Oh my gosh.
These guys have the best agents in the game because they still get paid.
Oh man. So you're telling me that I'm looking at a potential starting 5 of De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Devin Vassell, Tobias Harris, and Victor Wembanyama.
Well, last year Julian Champagny was their power forward. So
Yeah.
Tobias does add them some more size at the four.
He
He is more
does, yes. He gives them more size,
still can
but
space the floor decently.
yeah, I mean, I guess when you look at it from the point of Tobias Harris may be your fourth or fifth scoring option. Harris's cousins.
He is, dude. These guys get paid for
I'm
mid.
looking at
That's it.
Tobias Harris on this team as your fourth or fifth scoring option. I guess, yeah, he's just coming in as a role player. He's not being asked to be, a third scoring option on this team. He's definitely bringing on a reduced role. And I think, yeah, it could help out with Wemby.
It could. And again, he adds a little more size to the power forward. And like I said, Julian Champagny didn't play terrible last year.
But
He
he'll
just
be
got an
good off
extent.
the bench, though,
Yes.
with Harper.
Oh
That
man, that
they're
second.
keeping a strong bench now. You got to have Harper, 6 man off the bench, Champagny coming off the bench. Are they keeping Keldon Johnson?
Most likely. I don't know why they wouldn't.
Okay. So yeah, keeping Keldon Johnson. I mean, hopefully he can, you know, fully recover from whatever he was going on through the postseason. Felt like he just
Yeah.
never got going. He couldn't get
Yeah.
healthy.
I didn't know he was on the floor in the finals half the time.
Yeah, right. I thought he was still hurt, but nope. He logged some minutes. He was out there.
Yeah,
But
so
no, I mean, overall, it's fine. We don't gotta like Tobias Harris, but he's not coming in. He's not a third scoring option like he was on the Sixers. You could argue he was the second scoring option on the Sixers behind Joel because Ben Simmons wouldn't shoot the ball.
okay, so what was the excuse the other years on Maxi developed?
Well, we're not going there.
All right, listen. Let's go into this whole. Let's just put it here. Tobias Harris gets a lot of hate because he was a max contract guy. He probably should not have been on a max contract.
No.
Tyler, if you're offered a max contract, are you going to say no?
No. Yeah, am I going to go into the GM and say, yeah, I don't think I'm really worth this, guys. I think maybe you should pay me a little less.
Yeah, like that's life altering money. And if you have the opportunity to get that, you do it.
And I will also add, too, he is a guy who is relatively healthy and can play most of the year.
Yeah.
So I think it's a solid move. I mean, will he average 13 points per game again? I don't know. I don't think he will because, again, fourth or fifth scoring option. I think we kind of know what the hierarchy is. It's Wemby, it's Fox, it's Castle, and then it's Tobias Harris or Devin Vassell from there.
And don't forget Harper.
And yeah, of course. Well, when Harper comes in off the bench, he's your number one scoring option. I'm sorry.
Well, Harper shouldn't be coming off the bench next year. I'm sorry.
I totally agree. He should be a starter. That'd be a scary lineup. But is Fox going to be okay coming off the bench?
I'm
Or
sorry.
is
Did
that
you
going
watch?
to? I
Did
I
you
know.
watch the
I know.
playoffs he
I
had?
know. He was terrible. He was a ghost. So maybe that is De'Aaron Fox's wake up call. Have him 6 man off the bench. He'll still log a good amount of minutes. He'll have his chance to make an impact off the bench. But yeah, starting lineup of Dylan Harper, Castle, Vassell, Harris, and Wemby, that's pretty scary. You'll get your 10 minutes from Luke Cornett while Wemby's resting. Have Champagny score off the bench, Keldon Johnson, and De'Aaron Fox. I could see the Spurs running back and winning the Western Conference again.
Dustin, here's the thing with the Spurs there. I understand where you're coming from, but if I'm DeRozan, where's he getting minutes? Like, where's DeRozan playing?
Isn't isn't Tobias Harris just as much of a veteran leader as DeMar DeRozan at this point?
I mean, both have equaled the same amount of playoff production, so yeah.
Yeah, like I can't put much more stock in DeMar DeRozan than Tobias Harris. I get it.
But
DeMar DeRozan, he's
Tobias
got a
did.
title.
No, he doesn't.
He didn't win with the Raptors?
He was involved in the Kawhi trade.
Oh, that's right. Oh my gosh. That's right. He just missed. Yeah, that's when he got sent to San Antonio. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I just don't know where DeMar's getting minutes. Like, you put him in Philly, then okay, I'm cool.
Minutes. Castle was a ghost in the final game. Leading up to that, he was good. And no, actually, Anthony, he wasn't a ghost. A ghost is what what's his name? Shed Holmgren did, where he refused to shoot the ball. At least Castle, he still shot the ball. It wasn't going in, but he kept going. Because he knew what kind of player he was, and if he got a good look, he was taking it. And that's totally fine. I get it if you have a bad game. But he didn't go ghost.
The Spurs team's a bunch of babies, man. They're a bunch of kids. They're going to learn how to get this stuff right. Dustin, I understand that. The problem is De'Aaron Fox's replacement's already on this team. So I don't really, if I were the Spurs, I would.
Yeah, what are you mentoring him for?
How to not perform in the playoffs. Dustin, being mentored by a guy whose team won a championship after getting traded is not a very good mentor. Speaking of the NBA Finals, Tyler, let's talk about the team that was in the NBA Finals as the Eastern Conference representative last year before the Knicks, and that's the Indiana Pacers. Kelly Oubre, 2 years, nearly $17 million to come off the Indiana Pacers bench. And the Pacers their goal this year was to load up and go back at it in 26, 27 because we knew Halliburton wasn't going to be healthy this year with the Achilles. They made the trade for Zubats at the trade deadline last year, so they had a big guy in place. You still have Aaron Nesmith. You still have Andrew Nimard. You still have T.J. McConnell coming off that bench.
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam. Obi Toppin has carved out a nice role there.
Mm-hmm.
Halliburton will be back healthy. But, when they pulled that trade off for Zubats, they did have to trade away some players. They had to trade away Benedict Mathurin, who was a really good player off their bench. Kelly is a guy who, in my opinion, carved out a very nice role in Philly over the past 3 years. He averaged over 14 points per game all 3 years, shot 36% from three this past year, and I think he will give them a very, solid addition to their second unit for a team that will need bench scoring.
This team, their starting five is going to be scary next year.
And we haven't even talked about them in the Eastern Conference yet.
We haven't. And then their bench, I mean, McConnell's going to give you production. Kelly Oubre is going to produce. He's probably going to get you the most points off the bench. Obi Toppin still puts in valuable minutes and can average you 10 points off the bench. So the Pacers, like Dustin said, they played this very well. They knew that this past year was not going to be their year. Obviously, Halliburton being out, Miles Turner left in free agency.
They weren't going to rush Halliburton back from the injury.
Exactly. So they played it well, bided their time. This Pacers team, oh man, they have a chance of being a top 3 seed in the East.
Healthy? Absolutely.
When healthy, yes. If Halliburton is fully recovered from that injury and he comes back like he never left, this team's going to do some damage.
I agree. And again, Kelly's battle test. He's been in the playoffs with the Sixers over all these years. And again, you're looking at a team that you need wings that can guard multiple positions, that can play all over. And, Kelly's been playing kind of that 3 small ball 4 in Philly, so he's got that versatility.
Yep.
Oh, really, Dustin? I'm not going to put that comment. We're going to save that for the people. That's a surprise for the people.
Surprise for the people. Man, I
That
might
is
be
a
special guest on that. Least special guest. We'll say that. Least special guest on that show.
All right, Tyler. So now we're about to run through the Lakers, who, in a span of like 3 hours, made four sizable moves. First off, ah,
Very
Dustin's
nice.
working behind the scenes.
Very nice.
Stay tuned, people. All right, so Tyler, Lakers. First move, Walker Kessler. Acquired him from the Utah Jazz. Listen to this. They got him for an unprotected first round pick in 2031 and 2033, a
Mm-hmm.
first round pick swaps in 2028 and 2030, and they gave Kessler a massive 4-year, $130 million contract extension. Then they went out and signed. Listen, I'm not pronouncing this. They got Sandro from Toronto. I am not trying to pronounce his last name. 4 years, $52 million. Then they go out, get Quentin Grimes, 4 years, $60 million. And they went out and signed Colin Sexton to 2 years and $19 million. So where would you like to start here?
I mean, wow. I mean, that's pretty loaded. I guess we could start with Walker Kessler. I mean, is this the big that Luka's been waiting for since going to LA?
In terms, yes, because now, granted, Kessler last year only played 5 games. He suffered a labrum injury early in the season. But before he got hurt, he was averaging 14 a game, almost 11 boards, averaging 1.8 blocks per game. Walker Kessler has averaged over 2 blocks a game throughout his 4-year career. Last year was a
Wow.
career low, and he was averaging 1.8. And he is that defensive run and jump, rim to rim, lob threat center that Luka needs, like they saw in Dallas with Likely and with
Yep.
Gafford. Those are the types of centers you need. And this is the one move I give them credit for. They needed, again, to build around Luka and Austin Reeves, you need guys that defend their positions. And Walker Kessler does that pretty well. Now, the rest of them, Sexton's a nice little option, 2 years, 19 million. Kind of a nice little scoring guard off the bench. I have no idea where they see Quentin Grimes worth $60 million over 4 years.
Oh man, yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
Now, and see, this is where I appreciate Mike Gansey. This is why, when I said Mike Gansey's on that Howie Roseman run right now, tell me this isn't a Howie Roseman type of move. Gansey lets Quentin Grimes go to the Lakers, who are going to pay him $15 million a year for the next 4 years. Dean Wade and Anthony Simons combined their AAV is lower than that.
Yep.
That is Howie Roseman-esque to a T. Dustin said, "I hate NBA. I hate NBA trades. Why are we trading picks 5 to 8 years down the road, given the state of our country and the world? For the matter, who knows if we'll even be here 8 years from now? That's why, Dustin. Let freedom ring and just trade the picks." So, I mean, theoretically, did the Lakers overpay for Walker Kessler? Maybe. But again, it's the Lakers. They're never going to rebuild. They tried that after
Yeah.
Kobe retired.
No.
It was a mess.
Exactly. They're literally what the Miami Heat are going to continue to do for the rest of the time. They're just
Yes.
going to continue to make trades, build their rosters through trades and free agency, and call it a day.
Yeah, and look, I'm not saying it's a bad move. I like Kessler a lot. I mean, he has been banged up. He's had some injuries. He had the injury with the shoulder last year, but Well, you're a team that needs a center who protects the rim and is a lob threat for Luka, which is what he had in
Who's coming
Dallas.
on? Gio Reyna? Oh, they're looking to score now. They took off Dest, he's your winger. He brings speed, a little bit of defense and passing, but he's not a good scorer. Gio Reyna, he can find the back of the net. It's going to be interesting here.
All right, Tyler. So we kind of touched on Mitchell Robinson a little bit already during the beginning of the show. But, 3 years, $47.5 million to the Celtics. Do you have any thoughts? Final thoughts?
It's a good move. I mean, I feel like he should come off of their bench. Like you said earlier in the show, keep him healthy. He hasn't always been the healthiest player. And, use him in more of a reserved role, kind of like the Knicks did. Although, obviously, the Celtics don't have a Karl Anthony Towns.
No, but Kata did a really good job for them last year. And now Kata
He
just
did.
got a big extension for the Celtics this week over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So they got both their big guys locked up for their foreseeable future.
Yeah, they did. So, honestly, it's a solid move for extra depth at the big man position for the Celtics, a position that they have kind of ignored over the years.
Yeah, I mean, Kata's been there. Yeah, I mean, they've had Al Horford, they had Porzingis, but
They had Robert Williams,
who could never stay healthy.
Yeah, exactly. Another one.
The Celtics always like big guys that can set picks, that can grab offensive rebounds, that can grab defensive rebounds, that can block shots, that can run the floor, and they don't command the ball a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, is the best player in Celtic history not the definition of that?
Exactly.
So, I mean, like I say, you have two centers that are, and that's the other good thing. You have two centers now that are, their play style is identical. They're not going to both need touches. Like last year, they traded for Nikola Vucevic. He never fit what they were doing. Ironically, it's, speaking of homecomings, LeBron's going back to Cleveland. Kawhi's back in Toronto. Ben Simmons may be back in Philly. Nikola Vucevic signed a 1-year deal to return to the Magic this summer. We're literally just going, and Claude Giroux may sign back with the Flyers. We are literally just going back in time.
So when I hear LeBron James going back to Miami Heat, then it'll be full circle.
Or Cleveland, whichever one you pick.
Miami Heat.
Well, of course you're going to pick Miami Heat.
Yeah,
but no,
right.
And no, like I said, I like the fact that they have two centers that have like the same role in the team. I like the Mike Conley addition too. I know Mike's a lot older now, but they needed a veteran ball handler off their bench, and they really didn't have it last year. So hopefully that'll help there. They still need a facilitating point guard because they really don't have a lot of playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully they can maybe they recall Portland, see if we can get a Drew Holiday trade, possibly. I'm not sure, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, Tyler, this one's going to hit you a little close. Norman Powell.
Man, I don't care about Norman Powell.
Sure you do. 2 years, $45 million to the Chicago Bulls.
It's good. It's a good move for him. I mean, I don't know how much better this makes the Bulls. It's a solid move for them. I mean, this doesn't. Norman Powell's not a needle mover. I mean, we're looking at what? Starting five: Josh Giddey, Norman Powell, Mattis Buzelis, Caleb Wilson, Nick Claxton. I mean, and Dustin just kind of said it too. I mean, this isn't enough to make the Bulls a competitive team.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with almost everything you just said.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, first
What
off, we know the
Kool-Aid you
Chicago
got?
Bulls. Well, first of all, we know the Bulls are a young team. Number one, they have their point guard. They have Josh Giddey. I
Mm-hmm.
don't care what his position says he is. He is a point guard. He is a triple double almost every night he walks on the court. That's a playmaker that you need. Of course, they also have Modest Bazelis, who last year had a really good year, averaged 16 points per game, shot almost 35% from three.
Mm-hmm.
You get Nick. I feel like the move for Nick Claxton, getting him in the salary dump for Randall from the Nets, is big. They needed a center, a guy that can protect the paint. He averaged 1.1 blocks last year. He averaged 11-7. He gives you that lob threat. That center is going to protect the paint, set picks, do all the little things that you need from a center. You drafted Caleb Wilson, who has a lot of potential at 6'9". He's 19 years old. Has a lot of potential. So all you really need to do to that starting five, because that's probably your starting five, you're looking is at Claxton, Wilson, Bazalis, and Giddey. You needed a veteran guy who could come in there and score the basketball. And Norman Powell can do that. He's been one of the best NBA bench players over the past 4 years. Then last year he gets a full-time starting gig in Miami, and he has a really good year. He averaged over 20 points per game. Can shoot the ball well from outside. They needed a veteran. I like the deal. And I think after what I saw Thiago Splitter do with the Trailblazers last year, a team that had no business being a playoff team, to lead that team to 42 wins and get the 7th seed in what is a loaded Western Conference. I'm not saying the Bulls are going to come in and be a playoff team, but I think they will be an exciting team this year to watch. I think there's some things that they could do well this year.
Yep, they'll make the play-in exciting.
Dustin, if they trade Josh Giddey, that's the stupidest thing they could do.
It's the Bulls. What have they done since Jordan?
Yeah, that is true. Ruined Derrick Rose's career.
Yeah. So I mean, are we sure that like it's past them to do that? Oh, that's a foul.
I don't.
What? What?
You don't seem very happy.
How was that not a foul? Did he not get tripped from behind when he was shooting? What? Hold on. Please tell me they're going to review this on VAR. Because I'm sorry, did I just not straight up see him get completely obliterated from behind and he didn't even get the ball?
Who got hit?
Actually, I don't think it's a foul.
Dustin, hush. Don't
No.
say that. We need him.
Oh, yeah, I hope not. No, it's not a foul, though. I was wrong. The defender, Belgium, stepped in front of him as he was about to shoot it, and Pulisic kicked the back of the defender. So that's not a foul.
And Dustin said, this is the Bulls.
Oh,
We're talking
man.
about Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, you know what the problem is with the Bulls? They did themselves disservices when the Last Dance came out. And, Jerry Krause and Jerry Reinsdorf tried to make it look like it was the front office that did all the job for the Bulls teams of the 90s that produced 2 3-peats with the greatest player to ever walk on a basketball court.
Oh,
And then,
come on.
So, yeah, like I said, since Michael Jordan left, the Bulls have been an inconsistent mess. Let's just say that. They had that little bit of run with Derrick Rose, even after he got hurt, but after that it was... And even that never got them far. All right, Tyler. Last move. John Collins. 3 years, $51 million to the Detroit Pistons. Probably take over that role as their starting 4 that Tobias Harris left when he went to San Antonio.
Yeah, hopefully John Collins provides a more stable scoring option.
Maybe.
And then, we still got to see what happens with Jaylen Brown. But he's almost an equal replacement for Tobias Harris.
If John Collins, if they can get Jalen Duren's deal figured out, whether they match whatever offer sheet a team gives him, Collins could definitely be a very decent power forward next to him. I think he's actually a better. He's more. He gives them more athleticism and more size at the power forward position, which in the East you're going to need some more size. And again, Zolt said it perfectly. The Pistons, to me, feel like they're the team that's like they're waiting to make the big move. We're just kind of waiting to see what the big move is.
Oh my gosh! Ah,
So I feel like the Pistons are the team. They're a move away. We just don't know what the move is. Oh, Dustin, trust me, it is no hidden secret that that Chicago Bulls team could not stand that ownership group.
mm-hmm.
But before we end the show, I will disagree with something in that comment. I don't think they win 8 straight.
That's a tall task.
Well, even some of the players on that team thinks they would not have beaten those Rockets teams. Because even some of the players in Chicago said, as great as Michael was, as great as Scotty was, and as great as we were, who on our team was guarding Hakeem Olajuwon?
Very true.
He said some of them said they did not think they had an answer for Hakeem. So that's the one thing I will always despise that of Jordan retiring like that is because we never got to see the Bulls of the 90s against the Rockets. I think we could have had that could have been an all-timer. Oh, sweet Moses. Oh my God, what just happened? We're gonna wait to end the show so we can get his live reaction to that. What just happened?
Um,
What just happened? I got nothing.
sloppy defense is an understatement.
You think? He's
That
outside 3
was
guys.
non-exact. I'm telling you, Tim Ream's age is showing. Captain Armband or not, take it off, hand it off to somebody. They got to put a younger defender on. He is just getting beat, and that was Chris Richards this time getting beat, who was actually our best defender. Oh man!
That is twice. That is 2 goals.
And I'm trying to understand too. Freese made the right choice coming out to get that ball, and he completely whiffs and he kicks the ground.
Yup.
How do you, that's the reason they scored. If he doesn't whiff and he clears that ball, this doesn't. We don't talk about this. That doesn't happen.
Well, Pulisic's out of the game.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this appears to be over. I'm sorry. Because they don't look good. No, Anthony, they don't look good at all. Yeah, he like you said, Freeze just comes out and whiffs the kick. Oh my God.
Yeah, Pulisic got hurt.
Justice said this is the classic USA of old showing up when the moment is at its brightest. The team never, and I mean never, shows up.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, you get the momentum.
And again, our supposed golden boy of USA football, Christian Pulisic, he didn't move the needle much for us this game. And hurt again, yeah.
Hurt again.
Man, this is just what America does to you. You just get hurt.
Like, what do you... Yeah, well, yeah. What do you do? Like, you tie the game, and you've got 2 of the... You have no momentum since then. Like, I don't know how you tied the game, and you look like you're the one that blew the initial 1-0 lead.
Yep. Yeah. Dustin, I'm afraid you're right.
Because you see the potential. You see the first half against Paraguay. You're like, this is one of the best. This is one of the top, in my opinion. And you may disagree with me because again, I don't have a full soccer background. He's one of the 4 best players on this USA team, in my opinion.
Ooh, Pulisic?
Yes,
He's the best player, the best attacker.
but that's my point.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the guy.
That's the point I'm trying to make here.
He needs to make plays. The ball plays through him. He just wasn't able to do it.
When you watch the Paraguay first half, he was the best player on the field. And that was a game where Balogun had 2 goals, and he was still the best player on the field.
Oh, my gosh. They're just getting in behind him.
I agree with Dustin. I think Balogun's still the best player on this team.
Balogun, best striker.
Okay.
Best striker. Pulisic isn't a striker. Pulisic is an attacking midfielder.
I know that.
So Pulisic's job is more so make the plays to Balogun. But I'll still stand by it. Best overall player, most impactful player is Tyler Adams. Commanding the back line, defensively in the midfield, controlling the flow of the play. He's their most valuable player.
They cannot get anything going.
Yeah, they can't.
They got to make something happen quick.
Yeah.
Because 2-goal deficit, this ain't hockey.
Exactly. And passing around the back isn't gonna...
Yeah, like, why are we passing? Like, what are we... This does look like the Team USA of old. It's just back and...
Dustin, we share more than just the first name.
Oh, sweet Mary, Mother of Lord. No, okay, thank God. All right, Tyler. Anything else you want to talk about?
That's about all I got. I'm just going to go be disappointed watching the rest of this game.
All right, guys. That's going to wrap up Unbiased tonight. Talked a lot more NBA as per usual. Of course, we have been live reacting to USA versus Belgium. Belgium leads Team USA 3-1 right now. We've got another jam-packed week of sports talk here on the network. We, of course, will have DA tomorrow night. We'll have Hitting Home Wednesday at 10. And, of course, we will wrap up with Birds of the Gridiron on Friday. Just a little schedule update for next week. I know it's only Monday, but I do want to give our fans a heads up. Next week, we will be on a lighter schedule. Unbiased and Birds of the Gridiron will not be on next week. We will still have DA After Dark on Tuesday, and we will still have Hitting Home on Wednesday night, but we will have Unbiased and Birds of the Gridiron will be off next week just to give you guys that little program update for next week. But this week, we're full schedule, got all the jam-packed sports talk for you guys. And real quickly, Dustin said Belgium has never lost a game when leading by 2 goals or more in the World Cup. Well, yep, this game's over.
Yeah.
But guys, that's going to wrap it up tonight. Thank you, everybody who tuned in tonight. Thank you, everybody who commented on the YouTube side. Thank you, everybody who commented on the Facebook side. We greatly appreciate all your comments and engaging with all of our fans throughout the night on each show. So, guys, have a great rest of your Monday night. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for DA After Dark. And what we have planned, you'll have to wait and see. For Tyler Adams, I'm Sam Nelson. Have a good night, everybody.
The following has been a presentation of 609 Sports Talk Radio.
Sam, what did you do?